Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, you'll know that we have a half-acre food forest here, filled mostly with perennial fruit trees and berry bushes. This is one of the characters right here, and it's filbert. We have that planted in the space. We have probably 24 of those spread out. But then when we get here, we've actually potted up a number of trees and bushes to include things like a plum cot. We have a number of cherries. Here's some Siberian peaches that we have in a single pot. Same with these pawpaws right here, kind of a nursery stock. We've even tried potting up apple trees from cuttings that we made when we pruned in the spring. So all of this is either, a tree or a berry bush. There's hazelnuts, there's sea berry right here. And this is gives us access to and allows us to transport trees and bushes that people order for our company, for our landscaping company. And this whole area actually couples with our annual veggie beds. As you can see, they're all covered up right now. We just planted a number of tomatoes and beans and probably some cucumbers, which might have been a bad idea because they'll run out of the space. But what we've done is we've integrated covering the soil with wood chips, allowing violets and things like that still to grow. But we also have our strawberries. There's a honeyberry bush. I think that's a silky dogwood I planted 4 years ago. But all of this is all active soil. So when we get in here, we're only using the boxes to differentiate what is annual and what is not. And you notice there's some random grasses and things like that. And we don't necessarily pull those out unless they're shading out, or maybe their root systems are possibly competing with other plants. But all we do is we just lift this little netting, we move our little Bigfoot there, and we just come through and we just grab a couple handfuls of stuff. But there's things like this plantain that's actually edible and can be used as medicine. So some of that stuff we allow to grow. That maximizes the production from all the annual plants that we put in there. We've really tried to integrate more annual vegetables in our perennial food forest, but we just can't stay away from the perennials. So we have strawberries all over, asparagus here, and then we have our actual annual vegetable beds covered with this netting, which has worked really well because things like this tomato get eaten up pretty quickly by rabbits. Now I kind of understand and expect that a lot of people on YouTube, usually when they see a raised bed and some netting, it's usually in more of a, streamlined, square, kind of straight line way. But we just can't help but add plants like this hascap, which you can see one of the hascap berries right there. And these will be fruiting for the next couple of weeks, and they've been fruiting for the entire month of May. So we have a couple of hascap berry bushes here. We have a random sugar maple popping up, which we kind of plan on letting grow a little bit more, and then we'll trim it to try and create as much, dappled shade as we can. And the really cool thing about this is all of this area was sheet mulched, and then with cardboard and then wood chips, and we've allowed some stuff to grow through. And that all adds to the actual strength and diversity of the soil itself. To give you, a wider view of everything that's going on here, this is that little pathway I'd walked through before. That's a lot of our nursery stock, and then it transitions into just a couple of spaces where we have annual vegetables because we like tomatoes and beans and all that stuff. But it all is surrounded by mowed pathways, and everywhere else there's a peach tree and all sorts of different things. We have a whole raspberry bush there. And really, if we wanted to extend, if we wanted to put another raised bed somewhere, which is just a frame, we could actually put it kind of in the center of here. That way we have elderberries right there. We could come through and we could just grab whatever vegetables we want. It'd be kind of tucked away and framed by a lot of these raspberries. Now I probably won't do that because I realize the raspberries are going to continue to spread, because I don't think I actually planted this one, and it's pretty far away from the other ones I planted. But then again, there's another honeyberry bush right there, or hascap. We have a pear tree that we just planted or transplanted. I mean, there's all sorts of different maples and all sorts of different things planted around. So I wanted to share that because I'm actually pretty proud of how we've mixed this nursery area with the annual veggie beds. The netting that we got from Amazon, little hoops, work great. That way we can still have annual vegetables while still relying pretty much heavily on perennials. And it's really nice that in the same area you can have perennials that are bringing in energy from the sun into the soil, creating habitat for soil life. It's worked really well for us, and it'll be interesting watching it throughout the summer. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. It's about to rain, so I gotta get out of here. All right, thank you again. Bye-bye.